Good morning, it's the 11th of October. It's around 10:30 in the morning. This is Vintage Workshop. This is nothing to do with politics, fun or anything else. It's for the vintage people and how to improve on things and make stuff you can't get. And there's a lot of vintage stuff you can't get and a lot of ordinary stuff you can't get. Now, the problem I had is that this is the cable. And these cables are easily available for any Hitachi digger supplier. They're a push-pull cable, and they have a thing like this so that keeps them stable, and that works the accelerator and the shut off. Now, I did a video before, and I'll try and find it and link to it, where I made the new handle. I upgraded the top of the handle where you press the button, and I made a fantastic job of that. I'll try and get it for you. So anyway, that means I had to put in the cable. Quite a job, and be sure if you're putting it in to try and follow the original path along. Tie something here and pull it out the same way. And there's a bit of work to it. You have to get down under it and all of that. Now, enough said there. Now, so what am I doing? Well, what I'm doing is, folks, I have to deal with this little lad here. This is the end that goes on it. You see it there? Sorry, now it's the end that goes on it. So I have to bend it. You see there? This goes on here. And it's some kind of steel. Some of them are aluminium. And it has this type of, you see, wobbly. And the nut here is, I think, 8 mil, if not maybe only 7. And you have to get a spanner in and hold this here. There's no way to prevent this here going around. There's nothing here. So you have to get a spanner in on this, and you have to tighten these here. And that's not too bad in the cab, but out at the engine, it's underneath the manifold and impossible to get at. You can do it, but it's a torture. And I put in about 3 of these into my digger. They're a variable, like brake pads. They go. There's no lubrication gets up, and they're outside. So do you see the story? There's the nut here is 10 UNF. 10 UNF. See it there? There they are. Look at just the size of the nut. So how can you be fooled on that? And then this can go here, and there's no way of holding the end of it. So it was time to get out my workshop practice and do something about it, and I come up with a few good ideas, and I'll just show you them now. So here's the first one, made with the top side of my lathe. I'll show it to you in a second. And this screws on here. I bought a set of taps over in Oxyark in Dundalk. Now, I made a video on the making of these, and there's a big lump in the middle where I left down the phone, and it's big blank. I'm going to try and get somebody to edit that and trim it to take out the blank bit. There's 10 minutes in the middle blank, no good. So this is the idea, you see? Now, instead of this here, fiddly, with nothing at the end to hold, this here has a big 13mm nut. Look at it here. Brazed on with the braze, and there's a hole drilled through here, and the end of the drill bit is pushed down here, so that there's a pin through here as well. And then it's silver soldered on with the brazing torch, oxy propane, or you do it with an ordinary torch. If anyone wants me to deal with torches, go ahead. And this here now can move. You see? Look at it. You see, you can hold this. It's a tight fit, and before I put it on, I'll lubricate it. So you can now hold the end of this with one hand and now put on your screw. You see? So now, that is one way. I did it. Now here is another way, and I'd have to go to Dundalk to get the bolts for these. I just don't have any of them. 10 UNF is what they are. Yankee fine, in other words. So this screws on again, 10 UNF. And in this one here, the extension in this one is 10 UNF. Okay, that's all right. Now, so with this one here, I took a different way. I took the end of this and I heated it and I bent it round. So now, look at the way it is. Oh, it's tight. So I come along here now and I take out this. This is the end of the cable itself. And I bend it and turn it over. And it's stainless steel. Stainless steel is tough stuff. It's not the best for engineering. It can be very, very tough, but it's stainless. And I made a brass nut, and I drilled it again and tapped it at 10 UNF. And now you see, when I want to go in, I can hold the end of this here with a spanner. Now again, this video is for vintage people and repairmen. It's not for ordinary people. Don't waste your time looking at it unless you're interested. So now, if I can hold that, I can then screw this in here like that and screw it up. Now, I didn't put any, this will grip, a vice grips or anything will grip this, and you can also grip this turn. Now, one of the things I'll do is, I hope to drill a little hole through here and put a wee chain in it. You know the chain you buy in the garden shops, and that little chain, or for a little fine chain, and put a key ring in it and have that if this comes out, it can't fall on the ground. Because I showed you a cap of a hydraulic container for a vintage machine where I made the cap, and it worked out really good, and I put a chain on it, and the owner of it was telling me he was doing a job the other day and he was filling up the reservoir, and he got the phone rang and he forgot to put the cap on, and when he came in he put the cap on, and there was the cap hanging down by the chain. So it's a great idea to have a chain or to hold stuff that you can't be losing it. I'll be doing that all the time. So hopefully we'll put a chain on this so I'll be able to reach down. I don't need to see it, even if it's away and under the manifold, and you have to stand up. It's awkward getting in there, and I'll get in and I'll be able to feel my way. Where's the wee hole? The throttle bar will be there, so I'll find it, put it through, put this on this, and tighten this up. You see, and you don't need to see it, and away you go, and then tighten it up, and Bob's your uncle, and that'll never come out. So that's the second replacement idea for this here, which is inadequate. No need for a ball at the end of it. No need for a ball joint. What's the ball joint for? Okay. So this will swivel this way, no problem. It doesn't need a ball joint. Get rid of it. Out, 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 out. No need. So I need 2, and I made 3. This is one now where I need to be sure that this nut here wouldn't spin. So I drilled a hole down, and the stainless steel underneath was extremely tough. And so I got it into about there. I got it in about that far there. You see, and then I brazed it on, and you see the silver solder, that's 55% silver solder. Now that stuff is going to get scarce and expensive, and definitely anywhere I can use brass or low silver, I'll be doing it. But for this thing, it's important. Now I'll just trim off a piece of that there, and I'll still have a little grip there, and you see this wee nut is on here, you see, again. Bit awkward with the band. I cut my finger, so it's just a bit awkward, but it won't be long getting better. So there's the end there. Now this is 5 metric, a better job, and this is drilled 5 metric. So this is a better job, 5 metric or 10 UNF. 5 metric slightly better, and this will go through the hole. I've checked it. So I think in the end of the day I may be using this one. So 5 metric here, and I think this one here is 5 metric as well. I think it is. I'm not sure. I think it is. I know any of it, but this one here is 10 UNF. So you can see the difference in the two, the UNF and the metric. They're quite close. You know, there's not much difference. Anyway, if you can use the metric, it's the handier. So that's it. But I always find when you're making bits that you have to make a few extra. Here's another extra where it got burnt a bit, or didn't have proper heat protection. And the stuff you can get, I know Brunel's, the people who supply all types of stuff like gun making and that in England, they have a heat stop, and you put it on this here, and it stops the heat going down. I had a tin of it. I don't know where I left it. Now, I want to show you the top slide. So this is my second top slide. This was going at Tahar Mart one Saturday morning, the variety mart, when it was clearing up and there was rain coming, €25, and I'll put that to good use. So you can put that on the cross slide of the lathe and use it as for milling, as a milling table for light work. And this sort of stuff here is light work. Now if you look at this one here, you see the way I've cut that there? Do you see that? See that? And that's held in a fitting in my own vertical slide. I have one I made and then I have one I bought. The one I made is slightly better and has more control and depth control. So this here just fits in, and then you take the piece off, and you see the way it's slightly angled, because when the thing is in, it has to be angled. The lever needs a bit more space here than it does down at the bottom. So that they're varied. And this one here is the same. This one here is a smaller one, and that has the same piece cut out of it. And that's it. And so is the other one. Right. So now I'll move to another project, and a long-waited person wants me to fix. This is off a vintage tractor, and it's the clutch connector. It connects the clutch pedal to the clutch. And the problem is it slipped the threads. The threads are 3/8 UNF, and it pulled them so that it was pulling out. When you put your foot on the clutch, it came out. So what are we going to do here? It's welded here in place. So it looks like the best way is to cut it here, thread one side right hand 3/8, and thread this one left hand 3/8. Now I happen to have a right and a left BSF. That's 20 TPI, which is very close to the American, unified thread, fine thread. And I think I'll use them. So I think what I'll do now is go on the net and try and find a left-hand tap. Oxyarc have a right-hand tap. I need a left-hand one as well. And so the idea will be, and I have a torsion bar from Morris Minor, and to have this going up both ways so you can adjust this way. If anyone you have engineering knowledge, would you be better with a fine thread or a coarse thread? I think coarse threads tend to be strong enough, but 20 TPI is quite ideal. Do you see the way there's a hole here where you can twist this? Well, it should have been made more robust. That'd be better if it was maybe a 3/8. Be better maybe a 1/16 more, maybe 7/16. But it's not. Now you could make the whole parts again, but this would have to be good steel, and to mill that in the milling cutter or the lathe, it would take a lot of work. It's not easy milling good quality steel. You can do small work. That's why a milling machine would let you, with a good mill and high speed, you'd cut that out and then you'd drill it there. And that'd work all right. But I don't want to touch the welding. I think this is the best plan, and just see how it goes. So that's some of the jobs you get, and that's some of the jobs you'll have to do if you ever have it. People who are unemployed in that, if they had these skills, but then they'd have to invest in a lathe by right, a milling machine, so I can't advise anymore. Folks, I'll let you go at that from the vintage workshop on how I try and handle these problems. The best of luck. Comment underneath, and we'll see you back. Thank you.